Hello, and welcome to my channel. Today's tragic tale takes place in Hyde Park, New York. Hyde Park is on the border of the Hudson River and is between New York City and Albany. It was the hometown to President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and his home named Springwood has been preserved as a National Historic Landmark. Hyde Park is also home to one of the many Vanderbilt mansions. Vanderbilt family gained fame by being early investors in the shipping and railroad industries. The designer Gloria Vanderbilt is one of the many successful family ancestors. This Vanderbilt mansion was one of the locations used in the filming of the 1996 movie Wolf starring Jack Nicholson. Hyde Park was also home to 67-year-old Laurie Ferguson. Laurie had been born in Rhinebeck, New York, and graduated from Franklin D. Roosevelt High School in Hyde Park. She later moved to the states of Tennessee and Florida before returning to Hyde Park 10 years before her death. She had a son, a daughter, and 6 grandchildren. November 22, 2012 was Thanksgiving. Laurie had plans to celebrate at an unnamed friend's house at 2 p.m. When Laurie failed to appear and the friend's calls went unanswered, the friend called Laurie's daughter around 6 p.m. Laurie's family celebration wasn't scheduled until the following Saturday, so it wasn't unusual that she wasn't with her family that day. Laurie's daughter and grandson went to her mother's mobile home sometime after 6:30 p.m. Upon entering the home, they found Laurie dead in her bedroom and called 911 at 6:47 p.m. Police investigated the scene, found Laurie's body in her bedroom's closet. They questioned residents of the mobile home Manor Park, and divers searched the pond directly behind Laurie's mobile home, which turned up nothing except a bunch of old items that were unrelated to the crime. They also searched a creek directly across the street from the mobile home park. Laurie's gray Saturn IN was missing from the scene. Police put out a bulletin with her license plate and description of the car. Friday, November 23, 2012, Laurie's car was found 3 miles away on Reservoir Road in Statsburg. They were looking to question a man seen standing by the back of the vehicle, described as a possible Hispanic, medium build, approximately 5'10", well-dressed, with a full head of dark hair and neatly trimmed beard. There was a female child and another adult male with the man. The car was removed and taken to the State Police Crime Lab for processing. Divers also searched the wet reservoir for a murder weapon. The man who was near the car was located and cleared. He stated his car had broken down, and that is why he was in the area. State police were also reviewing footage from cameras in the area of the Mobile Manor Park. This footage led them to a suspect, and they were able to track him using video and his cell phone data. 36-year-old Justin Curran was arrested with the help of the U.S. Marshals on December 4th in Tampa, Florida. Although Justin was already in custody in Florida, the state police released this bulletin asking for anyone who could provide any tips. Justin was an unemployed father of 4. He had been out of work for 5 years at the time of the murder. After Justin's arrest, the details of events that led up to Laurie's death began to emerge. So what led up to this? We have to backtrack to the days and months leading up to Laurie's murder. Justin was staying at the home of someone in the same mobile home park as Laurie. The home was about 100 feet from Laurie's home. The trailer home was being processed for evidence. The police removed several items from that home. The woman who owned the trailer where Justin was staying was the mother of one of Justin's friends. She said the last time Justin spent the night there was Tuesday, the 27th, after Thanksgiving. They also searched the previous home Justin had shared with his ex-girlfriend of 16 years. She was the mother of his 4 daughters. The girlfriend and her daughters moved out of that home in September of 2012 when they split up. Justin stayed in the home after his ex and daughters left, but was recently evicted. That home was in 150 to 200 feet away from Laurie's home. When Justin and his girlfriend split in September, she had filed an order of protection against him after he physically and verbally abused her in front of the kids. He was jailed on September 26th and released on October 2nd. November 16th, a judge granted Justin limited visits with his children. He could see them on Wednesdays after school and Friday through Sunday evenings. Wednesday, November 21st, the night before Thanksgiving. Justin was visiting with his daughters at the home where he was staying. When the girlfriend came to pick up the daughters, he wanted to keep her van. When she refused, he threw a nightlight at her and hit her in the face, near her eye. He then took the van. The girlfriend was able to contact the police, who helped her get the van back from Justin. Too bad they didn't arrest him. It might have prevented what came next, as this was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Wednesday, November 28th, was Justin's day to see the kids. When their mom was dropping them off at the trailer park, he beat her, got into the van, and took them all for a ride through New York for 16.5 hours. He assaulted the mother several times as the children pleaded with him to stop. The woman was in and out of consciousness. These are the areas they were during those 16 hours. Finally, the morning of the 29th, he returned the mother and her daughters to their home around 9 a.m. The mother and the daughters ran into the house and locked the door, but Justin took a tire iron and broke out the basement window. The mother and daughters were able to flee to a neighbor's house. Justin threatened the neighbor, telling him he had a gun. He then stole the ex-girlfriend's minivan and fled. The morning of the 29th, when police were notified of the kidnapping and the theft of the van, they issued a warrant for charges of 5 counts of kidnapping, among a whole slew of other charges related to this crime. They searched all the previous known residents and put out the bulletin for the van. Okay, back to Justin's arrest. Remember, he was arrested in Tampa, Florida on December 4th. He remained in custody awaiting arraignment. December 11, 2012, in Tampa, he was arraigned for Laurie's murder and the kidnapping of his ex and daughters. He waived his right to extradition. Police had up to January 3, 2013 to transport him back to New York. Once Justin was back in New York in January of 2013, he was arraigned in New York on the same charges. A preliminary hearing would be set for March 22, 2013. Justin appeared at his hearing. On the way back to jail, Justin attacked 2 officers that were transporting him from the courthouse in an elevator. Apparently, he was able to get free of his arm restraints and began attacking 2 of the officers in the elevator. When the doors opened, another corrections officer tried intervening. All 3 officers suffered cuts and bruises. Justin hadn't been wearing any leg restraints at the time and was attempting to escape. He was taken back to jail and was evaluated for his injuries. In April, he was arraigned on the assault charges. Justin's trials for Laurie's murder began November 13, 2013. Laurie's daughter was the first to testify, saying that she found her mother lying in the bottom of her bedroom closet and that there was blood everywhere. She also stated her mother would never lend her car to anyone in the trailer park. Police testified that video surveillance showed Justin in Laurie's car at Hudson Valley Credit Union and Deerview Deli in Hyde Park. Justin had an account at Hudson Valley Credit Union and was seen in Laurie's car at 6:08 a.m. on November 22nd, checking the balance at an ATM. then later captured on the camera at the deli at 6:22 a.m. The detectives examining the crime scene testified that there were blood smears leading from the kitchen down a hallway and into Laurie's bedroom closet. Crime scene investigators' photographs were entered into evidence and showed a white substance on the bloodstains in Laurie's home. Turned out the substance was soft scrub and looked at an attempt to cover up the blood. The soft scrub container was found in a box of Cheez-Its, and the cap had Justin's fingerprints on it. Justin's ex recounted the story the night of the 21st when Justin became angry because she wouldn't let him use her van and threw the nightlight at her. 2 officers were able to convince Justin to give her the van back. If only she had pressed charges, the outcome may have been different. The ex also testified that on December 15, 2012, she went to the trailer home where Justin was staying to pick up a TV that she owned. When she went to the room he was staying in, she accidentally knocked over a blue plastic tote and a flip phone fell out. When she opened the phone, it had Laurie's name on the screen. She contacted the police. This was an issue at trial. Justin's attorney wanted to know why the phone wasn't found when the police searched for evidence 3 weeks prior and wanted to know how and when it got there. At the trial, it came out that the police had questioned Justin after Laurie's murder on November 24th, and he offered theories and offered to drive around the park with the police. They noticed a cut on his hand and had him back into the station on November 26th for questioning. He said the cut came from moving a fish tank and he was able to show that to them. However, his story of his whereabouts on November 21st changed multiple times. They did not have enough evidence to connect him to the crime at the time. When he was arrested in Florida, a large knife inside a tube sock was found underneath the stolen van's passenger seat. A pair of green cargo pants owned by Justin and seized by the police from the trailer in which he was residing in had bloodstains that matched Laurie Ferguson. Justin's cell phone records showed he was on his phone nonstop on November 21st, the day of the murder. Then there was a gap of 78 minutes beginning around 8:30 p.m. that evening. December 2nd, 2013, jurors began deliberations, but didn't reach a verdict until December 3rd. They found him guilty of murder, burglary, robbery, and grand larceny. The judge sentenced Justin to 25 years to life for second-degree murder, first-degree burglary, first-degree robbery, and fourth-degree grand larceny. It is unknown why Justin chose to end Laurie's life by multiple stab wounds to the upper body and head. Was it to steal her car? Apparently that was the only thing missing from Laurie's home, according to police and family. Murder is always senseless, but why Laurie? He stole her life for no reason except to steal her car and then later abandon it. He was also facing 2 more trials, one for assaulting those officers in the courthouse in an attempt to escape in March of 2013, and the other for kidnapping his daughters and ex-girlfriend. In total, he was sentenced to 44 years for all his crimes. The judge referred to Justin as a whirlwind of terror, and that he definitely was. We can only hope he is never freed from prison. He won't be eligible for parole until he is into his 70s. No excuses for what this dirtbag did, so I won't spend too much time diving into his past. Apparently his ex-girlfriend said he was a hard-working family man at a steel manufacturing factory. He injured himself on the job. After that, he was unable to work and became addicted to painkillers, and that changed him. That's all I'm going to say about him. Still no excuse to the pain he inflicted on Laurie and her family, his own family, and the officers who were injured in that attack. Apparently the elevator was a bloody scene. Laurie was well loved by her family. Thanksgiving was one of the many holidays her children cherished growing up. Laurie's first husband was the father of her son and daughter and died of cancer in 1995. Laurie had remarried and moved from New York for a time, and although she was still married when she moved back to New York, she lived alone because her husband's health was too deteriorated for him to travel and move with her. Laurie's family remembers her as living simply and loving fiercely. They reflected on all of the milestones Laurie would miss seeing her grandchildren grow up. Her daughter said she would always talk to her mother on her way to work and wish she had saved a message from her mother just so she could hear her voice again. The daughter said she was going to leave each one of her kids a message saying, "I love you," just so they could save it. Laurie would power walk around the mobile home park to keep fit. She loved animals, reading, sewing, crocheting, and gardening. She worked as a lunch aide in the Hyde Park School District for several years. May she rest in peace. Thank you for listening, and I will catch you on the next video.